So WWDC is next week, I believe, all week. Um, and it just by looking at this article very quick from Mac Rumors, it looks like it's going to be mostly Siri related AI stuff. It says a camera app is going to have a major overhaul, making the interface fully customizable via a widget tray, where we can control flash, exposure, timer, and depth of field. Eh, I don't know. I think it's a whatever. It's a whatever kind of thing. I don't know exactly why. I believe it's what is it, the 8th to the 11th or something. Let me see what days are next week. Sunday, Monday, 11. Okay, so maybe it's to Friday because I know it starts on Monday, so maybe it goes all the way to Friday. Um, I just don't know how long, because this is the first time. Last year I didn't really care about it. I wasn't really doing this channel. This year I kind of just want to be up to date in it, just being a little bit more knowledgeable of what they do and what they put out. But as of now, it's just going to be kind of like a toned down version of Google's little AI extravaganza of last month, and that was super boring. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. So yeah, I think if you're really into AI and you want that Siri dedicated app, I think this event will probably be very exciting for you. I don't really care. I mean, it would be nice to delete Gemini off my iPhone, even though I use it maybe like once every other week at that. But it'll be nice to delete that and kind of slowly get myself off of using Google services. Not that Apple's any better in terms of privacy and stuff. I know everyone's like Apple privacy, but let's be real. No, like none of these phone companies are truly private. They don't protect us. We're just dollar signs, and I think it's important for people to kind of treat all these companies the same and not prefer one over the other because one was better at marketing privacy while the other wasn't. So yeah, I don't really care. Like, it'll be nice to kind of get away from Google services and just use Apple dedicated services for the foreseeable future, because I don't think I'm gonna fully switch to a Pixel or a Samsung anytime soon, unless there's another Slim, an Edge, a sequel to the Edge, and it's a little bit improved, or the base S model is improved. We get that S26 Pro that was rumored. If we get that, I may have to go to Samsung. Or if we get something like the Z Fold 8 wide, but without the folding part of it, just a very wide phone, something like that. Pixel, I love the Pixel interface. I think Pixel OS is pretty great. I love Pixel cameras, but I think the further they push into AI and Gemini and all of these things, the Spark, Nano, blah blah blah, the further I kind of get away from them, because I don't use any of that. And if it's going to be integrated within everything on a Pixel phone and there's no way to kind of turn it off, there's no way to just get away from it, I'm slowly like becoming more and more hesitant in terms of using Pixel in the future. And then Apple is just, you're that plain white girl with really great style, and that's it. I don't know what I brought that up, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. Um, but yeah, I think I love just to kind of go into my mind a little bit. I think Apple is kind of great in terms of just the small things like Apple Pay, and the because I do switch phones a lot, and switching from an iPhone to a different iPhone, it's very seamless. All the stuff, all my passwords and stuff, all my apps, there it just auto logs in. I don't gotta really do anything. it's a lot better these days in terms of Samsung to Samsung and Pixel to Pixel, but it's still not as seamless as iPhone to iPhone. Um, but then it's also again a big draw for me for using iPhones is literally just app exclusivity. If all these little dinky apps are available on Android, then it'll probably be a lot easier for me to switch and then and stay switched. But yeah, I use a lot of these camera filter apps to add a little pizzazz to my vlogs, and then I use a lot of these little funky productivity apps that are exclusive to iPhones. So yeah, if ever there was a time these apps were to all make their way to Android, yeah, I'll probably pick Samsung. As of now, if I had to choose an Android phone, it would probably be Samsung. Um, which actually, you know what, just going into this might be a little bit shorter. I don't know. I'll see what else is going on this weekend that I could add to it. Um, what does it say? The wide, there's more and more leaking about the wide, which is really nice. We see a lot more in terms of leaks and hands-on. That way we could get a better idea instead of just getting dimensions and trying to use our own imagination. Um, Let me see. Yeah, the guy, Ice Universe. Can I? No. So hopefully the quality doesn't go down a little bit. I don't know why we can't get a phone like this. Not a flip, not a fold phone, but just a candy bar phone like that. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I was gonna say I wish we could get a phone like this, but a little bit more rounded edges, but that would look a little bit weird. And I don't know. I mean, it'll probably feel really nice in the hand, instead of Samsung's classic sharp corners, which actually I don't know. I really I still think about the S23 Ultra sometimes, and I like the way the S26 Ultra looks, or the whole S26 series. But there was just something about those sharp corners that really um it was obvious it was a Samsung phone with those sharp corners is what I'm saying. So it kind of became a style of Samsung that I really enjoyed. But I don't know. I think because this is going to be a folding phone, the sharp corners won't be so bad because we need that extra grip in our hand, because it is going to be a little bit interesting to see, because this is a guy's hand. This is a, I don't know how big this guy's hand, these his hands are, but I imagine it's going to be slightly harder for me to kind of hold it one hand. However, I think on the bright side, it'll probably be very nice to be able to, I don't know if it'll be something like this. Maybe in terms of width, it'll be something like this, but it'll be kind of nice to be able to do kind of like a comfortable two-handed typing situation. Also, I really loved when I had my Z Fold 6. I loved using it as a writing device because it was very portable. Could take it anywhere with me. It was my phone. Oh, you know what? That's another thing that that's a bit of a bummer. Switching from iPhone to any other phone is the Pages. I use Pages for writing. I recently, in the past few months, deleted my Microsoft Word subscription, because it was just like pushing. It was like all these pop-ups of Microsoft Copilot and all that stupid nonsense. I was like, oh my god, I'm paying for something I don't want, and it's just a distraction. And it's just there, and I get paranoid when I'm writing my creative projects, my horror projects. Like, I don't know what these AI systems are doing, if they're quietly running in the background and they're tracking everything I'm writing and it goes into the cloud, and then I have no idea. I feel a little bit more secure with Pages. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. But at least when I'm writing, I don't feel that anxious feeling that, yeah, my stuff is being stolen. Whether it is or not, just I don't want to feel like it is. But but yeah, I listen. I'm most excited about the Fold 8 wide this year. I'm crossing my fingers that the Z Flip 8 is going to have um I don't know, a bit of an oomph to it this year, and not just a copy of the 7, the Flip 7. Because it's a pretty great phone. I think the improvements from the 7 from the 6 were really great, but are the improvements from the 8 to the 7 worth over $1,000 that's gonna be that it's gonna be? Are they gonna give us North American people, or actually was it just the United States, or was it all of, was it Canada too? I'm not entirely sure, but I know for sure the US didn't get the double storage for free for the S26 series. So I don't know if they're going to throw in some extras for these. That'll be kind of cool. I don't know. It's a little bit tricky with Samsung these days because I don't know what, if they're trying to if they're trying to level out with the competition, or they're just kind of like over it and they're like, we don't care. Like, we're going to charge a crazy amount for this. We're not going to give you nothing. Take it or leave it kind of attitude, which is kind of how I feel they did with the 26 series. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's a little bit better. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. It looks like they're adopting this little island here too for it. Is it on? Okay, just want to make sure. I don't, I'm a little bit surprised they didn't just kind of like cut the Z Fold 8 down in size and then keep the slimness of it going. I don't know. That might have been a little bit interesting. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm still digging it. I might try it. I don't know, or I might just watch some videos. I'm not entirely sure. So it's supposedly supposed to have 4,800 milliamp hour battery. I don't know what that means in terms of day-to-day usage, but I hope it's I hope it lasts long enough to use the phone throughout the day and not have to worry about having to just charge it. My God, it's so windy. I think in terms of the Flip 8, it just kind of looks like what does this one say? This is from Android Authority. Don't get your hopes up for this Galaxy Z Flip upgrade. What is the upgrade? Oh, could have a 4,300 milliamp hour battery. Improved camera. But yeah, I think it was. I'm coming at this from the Z Flip 4 a few years ago. The camera wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was very fine. But these days, because the camera hasn't really improved much, and I've seen some videos, some photo samples and video samples, it's okay. I think again, I think that's my problem with Samsung is they're asking too much for too little. I think the most obvious example would be the S26, the base S26 this year, of increasing the price a little bit beyond, or not even, so increasing the price and not giving us a double the storage free upgrade, but also increasing the price because of the going up from 128 to 256. But then also not increasing the battery, not increasing or not improving the camera. If the camera were better, if the battery were better, I would justify that price increase for the S26. But because only like two of the three most important things to consumers only one of the three, which is the storage, was improved from the S25. I don't think you could ask consumers to pay extra just for or force them to pay extra for a memory upgrade. But then again, also they didn't give us the free double the storage. If they give us free double the storage, what, $8.99 for 512 GB? I could see that. Oh, I know, was it $9.99? No, I think it's $8.99 from $7.99 because the iPhone 17 is $7.99, and yeah, it's kind of hard. Plus, also there were rumors early on in I think September to November when the S26 Pro rumors were pretty much scrapped. They're like, no, they're not going to do it anymore. They're just going to rush to do a base S26, no improvements. And they didn't want to do the S26 Pro because they wanted to keep their entry level model in line with the price of the 17, which is $7.99. So I'm pretty sure it's $7.99. But either way, Samsung increased their price, and I don't know if it's opposite in terms of Samsung, where their entry level model is the least sold model, and then the Ultra is the most sold. Whereas in the iPhone, it's kind of like the opposite, where the 17 was the best selling phone. I think of the year of any phone so far, and the Pros and the Pro Maxes, they sell well, but I think the 17 kind of covered a lot more ground. Again, I don't know. I'm just a little bit concerned that Samsung is getting a little bit too ahead of itself, and not really thinking about the consumers and what the consumers want. And I don't know if the Z Fold 8 Wide is going to be a recurring device, or this is just something that is going to its purpose is to just get ahead of what Apple is going to do with their folding phone in fall. And yeah, I don't know. We could see. I mean, we could see some parallels here to the Edge, not getting a, or there's not any information regarding another Edge, in the near future. So I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed, but again, if Samsung were to change a few things to the base S model, or even have, or just scrap the Plus and just say, we'll have a base S model, we'll have a Pro model, and then we'll have the Ultra model. Because they're lacking in that middle area of small but powerful. And I think that's what a lot of people, I don't know, but I know that's what I want from Samsung. Small but powerful. And I say this coming from using the iPhone Air, which is not small and it's not that powerful. And it only has one camera lens, so, and terrible battery. But actually, I'll probably do a follow up to the iPhone Air because I'm actually taking back my 17. I decided to just spend about $200 for iPhone 13 mini. I've always loved that phone, and it'll be a nice little phone to have around here to take on trips if I don't want to take the iPhone Air with me. I want something pocketable. Yeah, I don't think the iPhone 17. I don't know. I really like it, but I just after using it for about 2 weeks straight, I kind of miss my Air, which makes no sense because then I got the 13 mini to replace the 17 because I missed using the Air. So if someone out there is listening and you can make sense of that, please let me know. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here, and maybe I'll return tomorrow with some more information to talk about. Hopefully, I don't know. Okay, so a few more things came out since, or not came out, at least have come to my attention. This is from May 29th from Mac Rumors. Oh my god. Hold on. Wait for them to stop barking. They bark at everything, I swear. Hold on. Let me see if there's actually someone there or not. Because I can never tell if my dogs are barking because it's a weirdo, an intruder, or if they're just barking at the neighborhood cats that come by. Yeah, there's nothing out there. I think the worst thing about having a dog is, or at least two dogs, or especially small dogs, is you don't really know if what their barks mean. Like, I could tell the difference between my dogs barking just to bark, barking at a familiar family member that they haven't seen in a while, and barking at a stranger, and then of course barking at other dogs. But when they just bark so much, especially when I'm in my room and they're out in the living room, I I don't know. I just feel like a little bit of anxiety. Like, okay, maybe they're barking at someone, but using a different bark this time. I don't know. Anyway, this came out on the 29th from Mac Rumors. I haven't really been keeping up with things too often. I think every Friday I'm going to do kind of like a more in depth look of the things that have been leaking and things that people are talking about instead of waiting like every other week or 3 weeks or so. That way I'm pretty caught up on everything. But anyway, these are so. I mean, again, we have a long way to go before fall and the iPhone 18s come out. So I don't know if these four colors are going to be it, but these are mock models of the iPhone Pros, and I am a bit. So my first impressions are I'm confused if they really, if they are gonna have four color options this year, then what was the purpose of having three color options for the 17s? Yeah, it just kind of makes no sense unless they heard the feedback of not having black as an option, so they're including black, but they want white as well, and they want two color options, like what was it? The 13s and the 14s? Is that what it was? Where they had the purple and then the red. Wait, no, not a red. The that blue. And then of course with titanium, they could only do so much with the colors, and it was just all kind of saturated options over there in those two times, the 15s and the 16s. I swear, Felix. Felix, what are you barking at? Tell me. Nice, Jesus. Um, and then other than that, I think the blue. I don't know because the orange. So this is how I'm thinking. If they are gonna have the black and the white as standard going forward, with the 17 Pros, it was that dark navy blue, which is really nice. I think that was the best of the three options. And then they got the cosmic orange that's very bright and very noticeable from afar. If they kind of take the same route this time, I would say this blue sky color would need to be just a tad bit brighter. And then this dark cherry would need to be a little bit darker. If that's kind of the angle that they want for the colored options, is to have one that's really bright, very stand out, and the other option is a little bit more not muted, but a little bit more quiet in its dark color. And that's I could see it being a dark cherry, but more of like, if anything, this is the kind of color that would be really nice. This kind of wine red right here, instead of this weird Merlot type glossy red. Again, these are mock models. This is not at all. I would be very, very surprised if this is the colors of the 18s. But I'm assuming it's going to be a variation if it is. But again, unless they switch it and they keep the dark navy blue, and then the red is the bright red. Project, what is it? Red? Um, Actually, I'm not too sure why they stopped that. It's a very interesting. Didn't they like lose a bunch of money on it or something? I don't know. It just seems like something to stop doing because like the portions of each of those Project Red sales went to I believe AIDS, right? AIDS research, HIV organizations helping people with their medications, and then in third world countries and stuff like that, and they just kind of stopped because they were like, I'm assuming they were losing too much money to keep up with it, or I don't know, probably some executive was like, we'll donate in different ways here and there. Something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, these are honestly, if anything, I feel like Apple needs to kind of bump up the two-tone color scheme that they got going on. I kind of wish it were a little bit. I think the most noticeable in the 17s was the white. How the white on the back panel here is a lot different than the actual body, where it's more of like a silver. And that was a nice contrast that they have for the 17 Pro. The cosmic orange and the navy blue were a little bit more muted in the two tone. I feel like they should. I feel like one color option should be the standout, and it should be in more exaggerated two tone. So if this were, let's say let's say this kind of wine red was the color of the body. I feel like this back panel here should be more of a pastel, or maybe a more muted red to go with it. Like a true two tone, not a attempt at a two tone. That's kind of how it feels right now with the 17s. But that's what I want. That's what would make me get an iPhone right away. Is just playing with the colors of the actual phone. It will be a little bit nice. Okay, continuing with whoa. With Touch ID might be coming to the iPhone Ultra. Not Face ID for authenticity. Oh my god, what the frick? Authentication. This is something that's always been a bit confusing to me, in terms of the choices Apple makes, because I can't imagine why a home button on an iPhone can't be a fingerprint unlock. Because they've been having it on iPads for how many decades now? Or at least a decade, I don't know. I'm assuming a decade. And because they got rid of the home button, you would imagine the more natural step forward would be to put the fingerprint scanner in the home button, because all iPhones have home buttons. So all this time we could have what, crack kills? What the frick did my mom just say? She's at a festival right now, some cherry festival. I don't know. It's way too hot to go to those things in California, unless you really dig the sun and the heat. You'll love it. All the festivals over here, but yeah, it's not for me. God, they're barking again. Jesus, these dogs. But yeah, I've always been confused with this decision of not putting an actual because all the Samsung has had it for a really long time. Oh wait, no, that's not true. The flips and the folds have had it for. No, is it just the flips? I remember when I was using my Flip 4, the Touch ID was there, and it was really nice having it on that little side button. Plus, it's a lot easier to use because it's just there right when you pick up the phone. It'll be right here. Obviously, you can't use a case with Touch ID. But anyway, I think it'll be interesting to put it on the iPhone Fold here. It could be maybe an exclusive type thing for the folds, and maybe not, or maybe it will come to the iPhone 20th. I don't know. It could be something that they're testing out on the Ultra, the Fold, and maybe they might implement it into the 20th, which would be interesting. But yeah, there hasn't been much more rumors about the Fold that haven't been talked about for the past month or so. So just moving on very quickly to Pixel 11s, these colored wallpapers apparently were leaked, which doesn't really tell us much. This is more of maybe a gray green, and then this one is more obvious a green, and then the red, and then maybe a black. This is the black one. Maybe this year they're going for a dark navy instead of black, which will be interesting. But I don't know, these two, maybe the jade is getting a little bit dark. Maybe they're going for dark colors this year. the jade of the tens is going to turn into a dark jade of some sort, maybe like an olive green or something. And then red would be interesting. It'll probably take over the pinks that have been coming out. And then, oh, maybe this is supposed to be some type of yellow. Because the tens, they had that weird bright lime green yellow going on. I didn't really like it, but it's pretty bright. If you're into bright phones, that's the phone for you. Yeah, so maybe they're toning it down this year, being a little bit more on the darker side instead of the more bright colors going on. The jade was really, really nice. I think that's probably the best looking phone in quite a while across all these phone brands. I just wish the jade was a little bit more. What is this for? Oh, that's the 11, and this is the pros. I wish the jade was a little bit more two tone with its camera bar and buttons and the sides being more gold as opposed to kind of the boring muted gold of what it was. Okay, so this is the pros. Is that brown? Interesting. This is not. This is orange. It's like a brown. What the heck? Something wrong with my eyes. um, the only color name that's the same is Midnight Haze. So beige color and dune code name, silver, fog, black, midnight, gray, pine. 11 Pro Fold. It's interesting. It's what is this? Gems, or is this these waves and dunes? I don't know. I like them, but I just don't know what the colors are going to be because they look very similar. Like, is this two or is this one? Is this going to be the white one? Maybe like a gray, and then this one is going to be like a jet black, and then of course you got the green and maybe a yellow. What is this one? Pine, green, green. What? What? Jade Variant had a green themed image called green. What users online appeared to opt mostly for the most basic obsidian and moonstone. Oh yeah, I forgot about the moonstone. That was a nice choice for the dark gray color there. Um, yeah. Oh, maybe I'll touch. I have this. The Pixel Glow, I guess, came out a little bit more in terms of it came out, and now it's looking like it maybe be around the camera bump. I mean the camera bar, but I don't know. I still got my. I'm still putting bets on the camera bar having that little glyph circular thing on the camera bar instead of around it. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's what's going on this week, this past few weeks. What is this? This is someone's, I think, render from Reddit. Let's wait until that loads. Oh wait, no, everything is frozen. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it doesn't look like much else is going on with the Pixel 11, which is interesting because it is right around the corner. There were, I mean, other than the Z Fold 8 wide being leaked, or the dummy model being leaked, there's not much. I feel like we get less and less Pixel leaks with each new series, which is interesting. Okay, so these are someone's renders. Well, at least we have a visualization of somewhat that may or may not be accurate. These are very similar. Fog. Oh, I wonder if it's similar to the 10A. Didn't they have a fog that was a little bit more gray-white, kind of like this? That'd be interesting to have on a non-A series phone. This is the green. I hope they don't go to more of a darker green, especially after having that pine. I mean, oh my god, pine. The jade. And then of course you got the ugly. I don't know. That looks nasty. I don't think they're gonna go with this. I think this is, of course, this is a render. This is someone's interpretation of the color Dune. I wonder if they are going to do more of a attempt at a cosmic orange, but a more muted pastel version of a cosmic orange, and that's where the Dune comes in. That's what I'm thinking. If Dune really is the color that they're going for, because Dune is just it's like a light brown. um, but yeah, that's it for this week. Next week will be a little bit more interesting, especially with the WWDC. Actually, I don't know. It might not be that interesting to me, so maybe I'll do whether or not there's a lot of stuff that I'm interested in. I'll probably do a longer video or a shorter video. And then hopefully next week we get more leaks on the fold and flip 8s. Although I'm not holding my breath for anything drastically changed or improved with the flip 8. I think all eyes will be on the fold 8 wide this year, unfortunately. But I am most interested in what, or if any, they're going to have any deals for storage upgrades, or maybe even in a little freebie here and there, which I doubt. I don't know. But okay, that's it for this week. Let me know if you're interested in any of these things, or if you're kind of just over everything. I feel like I'm getting like a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to move my chair. I feel like I'm getting a little bit not uninterested, but I feel like a lot of things are mellowing out, and it's very stale right now in terms of personal tech coming out. I could do a little bit more digging on the keyboard phones that are coming out to see what everyone is talking about those. I was thinking about maybe looking up some other wearables. Apparently, I think it's Huawei has these really cool earring-like head earbuds. Yeah, so maybe I'll do a little talk about that. It feels like Sunday. Oh my god, I'm glad it's Saturday because it feels like Sunday. I don't know if anyone else gets that feeling, but it's the worst. Okay, on to here because I've been talking nonsense all this time and it's not interesting.